Alright guys, in this video I'm going to show you how you can create a custom hotkey deck on the ZeroPro platform, and we're going to take a quick look here at some of the items here that are on our screen. This is the level 2 window, and then right below this here we have some data. That's the level 1 information. We have the market depth information, time and sales. Here's our order preferences, and then here's our custom hotkey deck. Now just a quick breakdown on how this works is that we're able to create a custom hotkey to send out orders based on our order preferences, right? So I'm going to show you how this works here, but just to get a general idea of how it works is that the order preferences are based on your quantity, based on the order type, your route, the time in force, and also the price. So we can create hotkeys here with offsets and different strategies for regardless if you're a long-term swing trader, position trader, or if you're a scalper. We can create a unique hotkey, right, to take advantage of specific order types. So let's go into the hotkey configuration. So we're going to go to the top of the toolbar here, the main application window, and we're going to select the hotkey icon. That's going to bring up the hotkey grid right here. So there's two components to this here. So this is our configuration file. The two components are the grid, and then also here we have the deck. Once we have everything set up, we can actually bring our hotkeys, right? Once we define the criteria, the order type, the preferences, and then we give this an assignment and then also a name, then we can bring it from the catalog and just drop them over into the deck just like that. And then we can also replace and swap items here once we have this the way we want, right? We can also, there's also some features here for the spacing and then line style. I'm going to go back here and show you some of the basic settings here. One tip to keep in mind is that when you're creating your hotkeys right here on the grid, you're able to actually go back here to leave. You can leave this application like it is here, and you can go back to the level 2 window and actually confirm whether or not the preferences are working as expected. Okay, so I'm going to show you how this works here, but again, you do not have to close out of this window once you have added a hotkey. All right, so let's take a look here at some of the items. So we can create a hotkey to toggle market depth windows or level 2 windows. We can create a hotkey to toggle charts. We have an all orders action. Basically the way this works is that when you have this here enabled, when you have these two this box here checked to make this a system-wide hotkey, that means that you can cancel orders, right? You can cancel your first order, last order. Again, we're creating different hotkeys, right, for depending on our strategy. And in whatever hotkey that you're using, if you're on another window, like for example, if you have the chart window in focus, you're able to use that hotkey to cancel that order depending on, again, the specific strategy. This is very similar to using symbol order action, which again is the same concept here, except the only requirement for this is that the level 2 window has to be in focus in order to cancel the order. So again, remember those two different settings again when you're creating your hotkeys. Now we're going to go to liquidate all. Now this gives us the opportunity to close out of 100%, or we can create a specific hotkey to close out of 50%. All right. However, the trader defines this arrangement, and again, we can close out of all positions, stocks only, options only, using our hotkeys. All right. Next up, I'm going to show you how to set up and send orders. Again, we're going to create a hotkey, right? We're going to use a specific strategy, and we can create a specific hotkey, all right, by giving this hotkey an assignment and a description. So in this example, I'm going to use limit by 1,000, and we can for the assignment we can use any combination here of the keyboard. So we can use our function keys, we can use Control and a keyboard character. We can use Alt. So there's different variations of hotkeys that we could create. So in this example, I'm just going to use Control and number 5 here on the keypad. Here are the assignments here. So we can create a buy side or sell side assignment. We can create a hotkey to sell short or cover. So in this example, we're just using a basic limit order, we can base that limit order on no change, meaning that this in general would mean that you don't have auto send enabled. So traders that are using no change, usually they want to create a hotkey where they can define certain parameters or certain attributes of the order type, and then they're going to preload that into the order preference screen, and then they have the opportunity to change the quantity or change the, if it's a limit order or a stop order, have an opportunity to change that before actually pressing enter and sending that order out. If you have auto send order enabled, usually that means that you're selecting shares, position, buy power, or dollar value. In this example, we're going to use shares. I'm going to use 1,000 here, and then we're going to select limit order. Again, you have the option to use market orders, stop market orders, limit orders. We have some other strategies here for traders again, and we also have range orders that we can use. This one's just going to be a limit order, and then for the route, we're going to select smart. Time enforced, we have some options here. Again, if you're trading pre-market or after hours, you can select GTX. In this instance, during the trading session, we can use day or GTC. All right, for price source, we're going to use the ask, and we're going to use an offset of 5 cents. So we're basically sending an order with some price protection. So when you create a limit order with an offset, you're saying that you're not going to pay up it's not possible to pay any higher than 5 cents above the ask price. So again, we can use the offset for some price protection. And again, we have this set up here to auto send the order. And then next, we need to just name this hotkey. So I can say LMT 1000. All right, and then we can add to the grid. Okay, so you can see that we have this, we just added this to the grid. It's also going to be placed here on the catalog, so I can move this over here. We can come back to this. I have an option here to actually change the caption color or the button color, so you can see how it's set up right now. So for the caption color, we can use, let's see, a nice color here, and then for the background, I can use black, and you can see how we can change the colors. Once you have everything set the way that you want, you can just, again, keep the hotkey edits. If you wanted to undo, like, for example, if you make a change, like, let's say you change this to 500, and you're changing a few things here, but you want to go back to the original state of the hotkey, again, you can just select undo hotkey edits. Okay, and you can see that went back here to the original setting. So now that we have everything again set up again, we can actually create a new hotkey. All right, and all we need to do is just go back to setup and send order and just begin the process, start the process again. Now, some more information about using hotkeys. This is kind of a tip for pro traders. You can create, once you have this set up and you're happy with the settings and you've actually went out and set up, you back tested and check to see if the system is working to your expectations. Again, you can leave this window here open. We can check this order, right? I can go to the screen here and test things out. So let me just show you a quick example here on the chart. Again, we're just going to send an order here we're going to place a bid using the load preference. So again, we can use our hotkey, or I can use the custom hotkey deck. So if I select this button here for bid 50 cents here, right? You can see that it changes the order preference here to limit, and it gives me an opportunity to change the quantity, and then I select enter, and that's going to send out that order. Now, in this window here, I have this set up here to actually display a confirmation window. So you can see that this right here is confirm, replace, order is set to on. So if I were to replace this order by drag and drop, you can see that we get the confirmation window here. All right, so now with this window here, I actually have this disabled. So I can actually move this here and replace that limit order. It's not a problem. So just to give you a couple ideas on how this works. Now, what I'm going to do here, just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to go back here to that specific hotkey. right? And now we're going to change this to auto send. Okay, so I'm going to put the shares here for 10 shares, and we're going to keep the hotkey edit. Make sure that you select apply. Okay, and now I'm going to auto execute that order. Again, I can use my hotkey, or I can use the custom hotkey deck. Here we're just going to hit this button here or select this button here, and it automatically sends out that order. So that's how this system works here. Once you have everything set up and you're happy with the configuration, what I recommend that you do is that you can go to the top left here, top corner here, and you want to save your layout. Also, what you want to do is that once you can actually save this hotkey configuration, and let's say you want to come back into this and you want to make some changes. Let's say perhaps you want to change these orders to auto send, whatever you select here, right? Just want to make sure that you keep that. Click apply. So whatever you do here, now I can now I have two configurations, right? So once I have this set up, I can come back here and then save this hotkey configuration as, for instance, as deck 2, right? So I can have additional hotkey configuration files. I can save those to my desktop, and whenever I think that there's going to be a different market environment, I can actually switch out and replace the current hotkey configuration. All right, guys, and one other item here that I wanted to show you on the platform regarding the custom hotkey deck here. If we go to the level 2 preferences, all right, we have an option here to go to buttons, and actually we can remove the hotkey deck here, okay, or we can bring this back. And then also, we also have an opportunity here if we go to, again, the toolbar, the main toolbar here, we can select the simple order entry. And again, this is going to include the deck here. And so you have an option to use this versus the level 2. So that concludes our video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, and also remember to subscribe so that you can stay up to date with our new videos. And we want to thank you again for your time and consideration becoming a client with TradeZero. And hopefully we'll see you in the next video. Take care.